Hello students, welcome back. We are meeting again after a long time due to some certain issues. Uh, today video we will continue our third chapter of your literature book. Open page number 30. Today we will start from 8th line from top. Alice shied away wearily. "I think you might do something better with the time," she said, "than waste it in asking riddles that have no answers." And when the Hatter and March Hare said that they don't know the answer of the riddle, वो पहेली क्या थी उसका, they have no answers for that. After hearing this, Alice sighed wearily. She breathed out like she was tired of these things, and then she said, "I think you should utilize your time. You should do useful things, fruitful things with time, then wasting it by asking meaningless, answerless riddles. If you knew time as well as I do," said the Hatter, "you wouldn't talk about wasting it. It is him." And then the Hatter said, "If you would have known the time like I do, then you would not talk about wasting it, because time is a person for Hatter. Hatter treats the time as a person, and that's why that's why he said it's him, it's not it, because usually we use him for a person, it's a personal pronoun. Here also the Hatter is using the pronoun him for time. So it says कि the Hatter was treating the time as a person, but the young girl, the little girl Alice, does not. "I don't know what you mean," said Alice. And after hearing this, Alice was quite confused. She couldn't figure it out how time can be a person, how we can treat time as a person. And that's why she said, "I don't know what you mean. I dare say you never even spoke to time," the Hatter said, tossing his head disrespectfully. And then the Hatter said, by tossing his head disrespectfully, shaking his head disrespectfully towards the little girl Alice, and then he said, I dare say you never even spoke to time." मैं कहता हूँ, मैं कहने की हिम्मत करता हूँ, I dare that you are not capable to talk to time. "Perhaps not," Alice cautiously replied, "but I know I have to beat time when I learn music." And then Alice said, "Maybe I'm not capable to talk with time. I may not be able to do that, but I know one thing. I have to beat the time when I play music, when I learn some musical device." Here, beat time is an example of pun. Pun means a word which has multiple meanings. ऐसा शब्द जिसके कई सारे अर्थ निकलते हो. For example, If I say well, W-E-L-L, well means kuwa, and well means fine, good as well. If someone asks you, how are you? You can say, I'm well, I'm doing good, I'm fine, right? So, well is an example of pun. Single word but multiple meanings. Similarly, beat time here is an example of pun. According to Ellis, beat time means setting the right tempo, setting the right rhythm while playing some kind of musical device. You know, when a band of musicians is playing some kind of music, they all have to follow the timing. They all cannot, beat the chords anytime they want. They have to follow certain times. That's what she is talking about. But the hatter is taking it other way. And he said, he won't stand beating. He is treating the time as a person, and that's why he said he won't stand there simply as it is and getting beaten by you. He will provoke it. Now, if you only kept on good terms with him, he would do almost anything you liked with the clock. For instance, suppose it were 9 o'clock in the morning, just time to begin lessons. Round goes the clock in a twinkling. 1:30, time for dinner, said the hatter. And then he said, Ki, if you keep good term, good relation with him, with the time, then he can do almost anything for you. Whatever you want, you can do with the time, if you have good relation with the time, according to the hatter. And he said, he gave an example as well. He said, for example, let's assume it's 9 o'clock in the morning. It is study time. You have to remember your lessons, but you don't want to. You don't want to study. You just have to move the arms of clock and it will show 1:30. It is dinner time. In a twinkling, in a fraction of, in a seconds, you can say in a seconds, it will jump from 9 o'clock in the morning to 1:30 in the afternoon. So it will help you with the timing, according to Hatter. That would be grand, certainly, said Alice thoughtfully. But then I would not be hungry. And after hearing his example, Alice was quite confused again. She thought for a while, for a minute, and then she said, okay, that is wonderful for sure, that is great for sure, but then it is not actually 1:30. In fact, it will remain 9 o'clock in the morning. That doesn't matter where the arms of the clock is. Actually, it is 9 o'clock in the morning. So I won't feel hungry because I have just finished my breakfast. Not at first, perhaps, said the Hatter, but you could keep it to 1:30 as long as you liked. And then Hatter said, Ki, in the beginning you will not feel hungry because still it is 9 o'clock, but the good thing with it is you can keep it at 1:30, 1:30 as long as you liked it. No matter whether it is 9 o'clock in the morning or 4 o'clock in the evening, you can keep it at, you can fix it at 1:30. 1:30 afternoon. And then certainly when it will actually 1:30, you will feel hungry. Is that the way you manage? Asked Alice. And then Alice was quite surprised and she asked, is that the way you manage your timing and your daily work? The Hatter shook his head mournfully. And then the Hatter shook his head sadly and then said, we quarreled last March, just before he went mad, pointing with his teaspoon at the March hare. It was at the great concert given by the Queen of Hearts, and I had to sing. And when Alice asked him how he manages his timing, his daily works, he said sadly that we come for the Hatter and time, not Hatter and March hare. He said we quarreled last March, means the Hatter and time had a bad phase of time, had fight in last March when the March hare was mad at the Hatter. It was a great concert. It was the time, March last, when a great concert, a huge concert was given by the Queen, and the Hatter had to sing in that concert. The Hatter had to participate in that concert. He had to sing a song. Now, what is the song we will see in our last video. Thank you very much.